Hello, hello, connecting. Hi,
Hi.
you were on. Yay! Second time
Yeah.
it worked. So, welcome, guys. Welcome to Elegant Conversation with Jacqueline Valdez. I'm so excited to be here. So, today we have Miss Fazia. Did I say that right?
Faiza.
Faiza. Okay. So pretty. So, we are going to talk about healing, holistic healing, and dealing with traumas and stuff like that. I'm so excited about this conversation because it's so important and so needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited because you're here all the way from Australia, right?
Yes, Melbourne,
Yes.
Australia.
I love
Yay.
it. I love it. Yay. And we connected. Woohoo. Yes. So
Yes.
tell me a little bit about yourself first before we go into this conversation. Because you're a coach, you help people heal through a lot of stuff.
Yes. So I'm a trauma-informed counselor and a coach.
Okay.
Um, I have been in the mental health industry for almost 15 years,
Wow.
and I mainly work with women who've been affected by trauma, and my approach is more a holistic way of looking at things and, yeah, healing from trauma.
Wow, I love it too because, I feel like now a lot of people are steered in the direction of more get on medicine and use medicine to heal from stuff when I feel like it's so much more than that.
100%,
Yeah,
100%. It's so much. It's it's just not our mind. It's just not our body.
right.
It's our very essence, and it's everything
Wow.
combined.
Wow.
Yeah,
So, what
yeah.
is something that you would say, first word of advice that you would give someone to get through a trauma, to get through something that's very life changing?
Be kind. Be kind to yourself
I
first,
love that. Yeah.
and be gentle. Be
Yeah.
gentle. We're so conditioned to that take the pill and you'll get better
Yeah.
type of mentality.
Yeah.
And trauma is something that, sometimes takes generations to, to create. And also, you need to, it takes a long time for you to, get to that stage where you become aware that
Yeah.
you've had trauma, first of all, awareness,
Right.
and then secondly, just, healing from it. You have to give yourself time, and oh, I cannot emphasize on gentleness.
I love that. Yeah. Because I feel
Yeah.
like, me being through some things in my life, I am a little hard on myself too. And I'm learning to find that patience and kindness and forgiveness too.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I feel like
absolutely.
that's huge. Yeah. And then how
Mm.
do you get over like losses? So like divorce and separation and traumas are losses too.
Yes, yes, yes. And you have to realize that you didn't get there overnight.
Yeah.
So
True. Good point.
so getting to that place of healing, it's a journey. It's not a destination. It's not something that can happen overnight. It's just there are different parts of us that we need to acknowledge, and we need to kind of like heal from our inner child to our adulthood.
Yes, I
So
love that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
it is a whole journey
Yeah.
that we go on to heal, and I don't believe healing is a destination too,
Okay.
because because you can heal from something and then a part of you, but it can there's something else that will come up that
Ah, true.
yeah. So as you get better,
Uh-huh.
there's other parts of you appear, and as other parts of you appear,
That's true.
you look at healing and you become more self-aware. You
Yeah.
become more, um, you become kinder to yourself, and when you become kinder to yourself, you become kinder to people around you and understanding people around you. And then there's another like level of
Uh-huh.
healing that requires.
Wow. So it's like a onion, it's like just keeps
Yes,
peeling and like more layers keep happening and like more growth and more
yes,
openness, I guess.
absolutely, absolutely. And it starts with honesty with yourself, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Like J-Rex said, mindfulness. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what's the difference between just going through healing from trauma and holistically healing from trauma?
Um, holistically healing, I think it's a combination of
Oh,
your health, your
okay.
mindset, your emotional health, physical health, psychological health. There's different sides of a person. We're
Yeah.
not like one side fits all.
Yeah.
So we need to sort of approach it in that sense.
Wow.
I believe that, you just can't, think like I can fix my mind and I'll be all right.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
all works in harmony. Your relationships, that's requires you to heal, and
Wow.
your own relationship with the world, with your own relationship with your environment,
Yeah.
and how gently you're walking on this earth, or you know how you are, even like from my coaching background,
Uh-huh.
I come to how your perspective is of the world, because
Wow.
that's such a huge part of how you interpret your experiences.
Right. It's true.
And
Like a whole
yeah,
mindset and then your whole spirituality and then just your approach to every day. It's
yeah,
crazy how the whole mind body connection is
yeah,
and the
yeah,
spirit everything. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. And I think the more you become aware, the more you realize that there's like so many levels of healing that
Yes.
takes you on a different journey, and like
I love it.
you wouldn't recognize the person you are when from where you started, right?
Yes. That's so true because I have been going through such a huge healing, and I feel like now looking back, I feel like you said so much more aware of how I am and just on earth and what I'm contributing. And then, physically, if I'm manifesting, sickness from traumas that I haven't healed from.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Wow. So, is there a word of advice that you would give someone who is scared to take that step of getting separated or getting divorced and they want to walk away from a relationship, but they have that fear and they just don't know how?
I think the first thing um, to do is to be gentle, and just take one step at a time. We call it like chunking it down. Like we overwhelm ourselves when we look at things in a big picture,
Yes.
and sometimes we're in the middle of pain, we need to bring it down to the point of
Okay.
like, okay, what's the first step I need to take? And
Okay.
then what's the next step I need to take? And then from there, gaining momentum.
I
And
love
also, asking the reason why you want to get to that point, and
it. Okay.
where you want to go, and what is it going to give you, you
Yeah.
know?
I
So,
love that. Yeah, and it
so
applies
yeah,
to not just being divorced and being separated, but in life and wanting to make any kind of change and just dealing with any
yeah,
kind of trauma too is, I
yeah,
love that. Taking the step and
yeah,
thinking of the end
yeah,
goal and seeing
yeah.
the pros and cons.
Yeah, yeah. And also, it brings you awareness of your fears,
Yeah.
and approaching that fears, like a being, when you become aware of that fear, then you start asking yourself, like, is this fear real, or am
Yeah.
I creating it in my head?
Wow.
Sometimes, a lot of the times, the women that I work with who are going through divorce or
Uh-huh.
separation, it is the fear of, what's it gonna look like for me on the other side? I don't know how to be, single.
Yeah.
Single is
Very
so scary, and am I going to find another partner?
yes.
All those things, and just, and I'm a big believer in working with someone, anyone that can, that's mental health informed, to to go through that journey, and sort of discover what which fear is real and which fear is,
Yeah.
you created.
Very true. And I feel like,
Yeah,
fear is such a huge factor and it can create such anxiety. And I've had anxiety in my life too. And
yeah,
it's been
yeah,
a moment where I've had to stop myself and, like you said, just, okay, is this really real? Am I making it more? Am I exaggerating?
yeah,
And then remembering to just
yeah.
breathe.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And it's funny, because this is the time you need someone to help you develop your own tools of coping.
Yes.
And unfortunately, our society and our schooling system don't teach us the tools to
Yeah. They
to
don't really.
overcome our fears.
Yeah.
So, this is where the opportunity is for you to learn. Okay, what makes me, like, what are my fears? Are they real? And
Yeah.
also, if they're not real, how do I cope?
Yeah.
What are my, options here? What have I got around my environment that I can use, and what kind of support system I have,
I
or
love
what
that.
kind of support system I can build for
Yeah.
myself, So it's a
Definitely.
whole journey,
Wow.
and you keep on, going further and further.
Yeah. I love that. And those are such great tips, definitely. So you know that you can control your mindset and tell yourself self-love, forgive yourself, and enjoy the journey and know that there will be something better that might come out of it in the end.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think, there's always something better. It's always you being better. You're always, every challenge. I mean, human beings are designed for challenges, right? If we don't have challenges, we create some, right?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it's so crazy because even I've been divorced and I did not want to be in that marriage, but I had that fear that I will gladly admit and share my story with anyone. But
Yeah,
once I decided to take that step, it was like, oh God, why did I wait so long? Like
same.
my journey was not meant to be where it was at, I guess, at the time is what I'm saying. Everything happens for a
Yeah.
reason. I'm huge. And
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything works
Yeah.
out.
And yeah, absolutely. And the, it was supposed to happen because you were the person you were when you chose that person, but you might not be the person you are now,
Yeah.
and that's okay, and that's one of my mission is, like, the blowing out of the stratosphere these taboos.
Right.
Like, that's false fear.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so, oh, I'm gonna get separated. Well, if you're not the same person and you're not with the right person,
Right.
it's okay.
Yeah. It's okay, guys. It's okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
I love
Yeah.
it. Such good
Yeah.
advice. So, what would you say as far as like anger and having an abusive partner or having a relationship where you were taken advantage of? How do you find that peace and forgiveness to forgive another person?
Okay. First, you need to deal with getting out of that relationship. I think that's the first thing.
Okay.
And uh, and secondly, once you're out of it, investing in your healing journey,
Yeah.
investing in your you know, and it's a journey. It really is because there's things in you like your experiences as a child, how you know experience relationships,
Right.
what it means to you, what it looked like to you, all that kind of like you know influences
Okay.
how you are how where you are,
Right.
and also
Wow.
exploring that and you know healing from you know your past,
Right.
and also healing from um just being gentle and being kind to yourself, because the first thing with the abusive relationship is the abuser strips you away off from being kind to yourself and
Yeah.
from being gentle with
So
yourself.
true. Wow. Yeah.
So
You know,
that's something, a learning journey there.
it's a learning journey. Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah.
definitely, and you have to be, like you said, kind on the time and patient with yourself, and know that it'll
Yes,
eventually happen. So we have
yes.
a question. Can past trauma develop into disease, physical health problems?
I believe it can.
Okay.
Um, because when we are in a state of anxiety, we
Right.
hold our body in a different way.
Wow.
We hold tension in a different way in different
Yeah.
parts of our body, and you know, and that's why it's I have an holistic approach,
Okay.
is because we need to look at the body and where you are holding tension, and finding ways to you know release those tensions
Yeah.
so that we can go forward in more of a better like physically
Right.
better,
Right.
as well as emotionally better way.
Wow.
So definitely, and if it's not addressed, it can, you know, further down the line, I believe that that
It can
turns
show
into
up.
diseases. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because I've always wondered about that too. That's such a good question. Is there things that are happening to me in my own personal life that's causing issues from the past that I thought I worked out and maybe I really hadn't?
Mm,
You know,
mm.
the
Yeah.
body and the mind are just such interesting, yeah, creatures.
Definitely, definitely.
Wow.
It's an endless journey.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Wow.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you want to let the viewers know before we, yeah,
Oh, wow.
I know so much. I love it. So many
There's
good
so
tips.
just yeah, look, my approach is just invest in your health and invest in your you know emotional health,
Yeah.
and and learn to be gentle and learn to be kind, and it's the best investment you'll ever make, because it transfers out to your career, your relationship, everything. You know how you know the successes you have in this world.
Wow.
It's because of your perspective in this world, your own perspective, your
Yeah.
own healing, your own you know um, trust. So yeah,
Wow.
that's
Wow. Oh, what do you want to be remembered for?
oh gosh. Um, well, my mission in life is to create healing for people, for especially women.
I love it.
And yeah, perhaps I can be remembered for that.
Oh, I love it. You gave so many good tips and you have such a beautiful spirit and it resonates.
Thank
And I
you.
love,
Thank
yes,
you.
invest in ourselves is so huge. And you're on a huge start to, giving that to other people. So I love
Thank you.
it.
Thank
It's been
you.
such a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It was so nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Yes, yes. So glad we
Yes,
connected. Thank you so much,
yes.
love.
Take care.
Thank you. Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.